Alright, we went to West Virginia for this one. So this is Old Elk Wheat Whiskey. We've tried the regular blended bourbon. We've tried a store pick at Industry Public House.
And now we get to try the wheat whiskey, which is actually the one I've been most excited to try.
I do want to try the wheated bourbon too.
Well, you'll be trying the cash check for that whenever I get my store pick of that.
Right. But
I don't
anyway,
know when that's happening. I haven't heard about that yet.
Yeah, no one really has. But
Oh, yeah, I'm really excited.
this is very sweet.
So sweet. Peaches, apricot, cream, vanilla. A little bit of like cardamom spice.
Considering we just opened it, I get like no ethanol.
No, not at all. There's a little bit of warmth, but like that's because we literally just opened it. Like, let this sit 2 weeks. This is gonna be nothing but candy on the nose.
Yeah, right.
And I'm excited to try this too because I love MGP's like 95.5 rye whiskey. They're the only ones who make a 95.5 wheat whiskey. So this will be very interesting to play with. But yeah, nothing but sweets. Peaches, cream, apricot, light fruit. Cream.
Not really any. I mean, granted, it's wheat whiskey. None of the notes you're really getting from a bourbon.
Yeah, not a lot of oak, not a lot of like brown sugar or dark. There's like no darkness to this nose.
Right. Ooh, whoa.
This tastes like bourbon and Irish whiskey had a baby. That's exactly what this tastes like.
You know what the nose reminds me of? It just kind of clicked. The Buffalo Trace kosher wheat.
A little bit, but that was more candy sweet, I think.
Well, yeah, but the same sort of fruity.
Light, fruity, sweet.
No dark notes, kind of.
I do agree with that.
This is. I wonder how that makes any sense. Where the Irish feel is coming from.
I'm guessing it's like. I'm gonna assume that the wheat plays a part in that with how it's like distilled, because the special thing about Irish whiskeys that they also use unmalted malts, so to speak, unmalted barley. And that's what they use to get like that mouthfeel with Irish and like that like peachy, sweet kind of thing. I'm wondering if because of how wheat works, it's the same idea. Because this is reminding me a little bit of how like a standard beer compared to a wheat beer tastes. Because like a wheat beer is way chewier, sweeter, creamier.
I get what you're saying.
And I'm pretty sure like that's what it is. It's just that's how wheat affects it. And whenever you do all wheat, well, you put it in New Oak, it's gonna pull some bourbon notes, and not have like that necessarily like corn astringency.
Right.
So it has like a very chewy, very rounded mouthfeel.
It definitely like feels very viscous.
Yes.
Very full.
I don't even know if viscous is the right word because it feels so oily.
Yeah, oily. What's your verdict?
I would buy this again. That's me.
I'm actually torn.
Well, you have to remember, I love bourbon and I love Irish, and I'm basically drinking.
That's where I'm. Yeah. I like it, but this might be something that would have to grow on me.
I think that you're more of a wheated bourbon guy to begin with.
I would not feel bad at all about buying this, but I'd have to see how this. We'd have to revisit this later for me to see after it's mellowed out.
Now, the real question I'm asking myself is, what would I prefer, this or Bernheim's? And I don't know what I prefer.
So for me, Bernheim, because it doesn't have that. Again, I think it's because I'm not as big a fan of Irish.
Yeah.
The Bernheim doesn't have that.
It doesn't have that.
It has like a doughiness, almost like it's young, but it's not because it's a 7 year.
That one's more of like a savory dessert. This is more of a fruity dessert.
Right. I think that's why I'm drawn to Bernheim more.
And I totally get that.
But I get where you're coming from because the fact that it feels so much like an Irish, that's just something different.
I love this.
I do really like this.
This is great. I wish it would come to PA so it was a regular thing. But yeah, like I do have to think that I might prefer Bernheim's a little bit over it just because I do love like savory dessert whiskeys.
Which is really funny that we do the comparison when this is a $70 bottle, or was a $70 bottle, and Bernheim is right now on sale for $24.99. and sits on the shelf because it's the sleeper of the century. I would have to call it the ultimate sleeper if I'm being honest.
And I want it to stay that way. It needs to stay that way.
Right. I can't think of anything else on the shelf that doesn't at least have a even like Evan Williams Bottle of Mont still has a reputation among bourbon people of being good at the price. Bernheim just flies completely under the radar at all times.
And it needs to stay that way.
Heaven Hill Wheat Whiskey. Maybe I should. You know what it could be for me? There could be something that does it for me with Heaven Hill. That would explain why I've liked the Lux Row stuff, because as of what we've tried, it's all still been sourced from Heaven Hill.
I'll add this caveat to Heaven Hill.
And I tried the 7-year and I actually really liked it.
I have this caveat for Heaven Hill. Their bourbon is good, but I love everything else they make better. Their wheat whiskey, their corn whiskey, and their rye whiskeys are all delicious. I can
agree to that.
Any of their bourbons, I am not a gigantic fan of. Like Larceny, Elijah Craig, what else do they make?
Yeah, Larceny I'm a fan of. Elijah Craig, the only thing that's really staying in favor for me are store picks, like single barrels, and toasted. The other stuff, like, for me, the stuff they source to Ezra and Rebel, I love.
Right.
For the most part. Like my one Ezra pick, not my favorite in the world, the Ohio Liquor one.
Yeah.
Because it was more on the fruity side. Like if I like the fruitier stuff more, I would like that more than I do. The Rebel ones, I haven't had one I haven't liked. I actually have a second fine wine experience one, by the way. I'm trying to trade it at the moment, but we'll see. If no one bites on it, I'll just keep it. They're different barrels, so they will be technically slightly different.
Yeah, I don't think
they're right next to each other, but
I don't think you'll be able to complain too much. And again, you like wheat whiskey way better than, or wheat bourbon way better than I do at this point. With again the exception of Maker's Mark, which I think you said Maker's is your favorite distillery, which even I can't agree with. So you may just like wheat whiskey better than me at this point.
Maker's in 1792, which is a very interesting
mix
duo because 1792 is a higher rye, and they do a lot more experimenting with aging and with proof.
Well, I can't be too weird because I mean my two favorites are Maker's Mark and Jim Beam. And
that's fair. And Jim Beam is also super diverse, so you're covering a lot of ground there too.
Jim Beam is very diverse, but it's also super like controversial because like some people love it and some people absolutely despise Jim Beam.
And some people love branches of it and hate others.
Right. It's
like some
so
people
weird.
love Knob Creek, but can't stand the regular Beam lineup in limited capacity. Or love Booker's, but can't stand Baker's.
It's so weird, and I mean, I love it all. I have not had a whiskey from them I did not like. There's just some that I was not amazed with.
And even those ones, you can see where their place is.
Like Basil Hayden's. Basil Hayden.
I was gonna say even Jim Beam White Label. You can see it as it's not bad for a fucking mixer.
Yeah, it's made to be poured into Coke. That is what
literally
they make that for.
It is literally not meant to be sipped in any capacity. When you want to sip, if you want the Jim Beam label, you go for the Old Tub or the Bonded when they had the Bonded. You go with the Double Oak, you go with the Devil's Cut, you go with the Black Label. The Devil's Cut I feel like is more cocktail oriented, but
I think Devil's Cut was just like a I feel like that was a marketing ploy for like their like cheaper audience.
That's
like,
true.
Just that variety to like draw people in to keep buying different.
We just had the same thing about the 1783 from Evan Williams.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, granted it's a small batch, but how small of a batch is that?
It's not.
It's the same as Knob Creek calling it a small batch. You know for a damn fact that they're mixing barrels from all over their entire place for that.
Oh, yeah. Although I will say this, though. The one thing about Knob Creek small batch, it's all 9 year.
Well, yeah.
I respect that for that.
Yep. Anyway, let's bring it back to Old Elk so I can end this video.
Yes.
So, you like this more than I do, and that's not saying I don't like it, because again, if I bought this, I would have 0 regrets.
It's just different.
I have to wait and see if it would grow on me before I replace it. I couldn't say now that I would.
I'm excited to see how this turns out in like 3 or 4 weeks.
For sure.
I am definitely excited.
Because we got to bring it back out so Ryan tries it too.
Oh, for sure. We might have to do, like, whenever we do that lineup, whenever he brings Will Advantage, just have to do like a weeded lineup. Because we have plenty of wheat stuff now. Because you're going to have picks, or Maker's picks that he hasn't tried yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
we could, that will be the point where we can revisit my Marvin match too.
Yes, that would actually be the perfect time to do it.
Because it's been what, 3 weeks now?
Probably more than that. Might have been 4 or 5.
I might try it on my own just to see how it's progressing.
Sounds like a plan.
But anyway, yeah, this is. So what would you rate it as in your Logan scale of out of 10, with 5 not being bad, 5 being perfectly average?
I would put this at a 7.
I honestly I would have put it at a 7.5, and I didn't like it as much as you did.
I mean, 7 may be a little bit low. I have a hard time. Well, I'm trying to think of other
I guess
things.
when I say it, when I'm classifying this as 7.5, I guess I'm more considering, like, while I don't like it so much, I'm considering what it offers to everyone.
Right.
So, like, the fact that it offers that unique kind of Irish little spin to it, and, you know, what it offers, I put it a little higher just because I could see this appealing like it does to you.
I think the only reason I'm rating it a little bit lower is because I do think there are things that could make it better. Like, for example, if it was a higher proof, I'd love to see this
higher
at barrel
proof or lower price.
Or lower price would also help. Like, lower price, higher proof. Is there anything else I'd like to see from it? I mean, maybe a little bit more on the finish, because, like, the finish is a little short.
I feel like this is pretty young.
I could see that.
I feel like it's like a 5-year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the standard is for wheat whiskey, knowing that a cheap one like Bernheim is still a 7-year, but it's also from Heaven Hill, so they can, you know, afford to kind of do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, that's the one. Like, those are pretty much the 3 things. Is I wish it was a little bit cheaper. I wish that it was a higher proof.
Or I wish there was an age statement so I had a baseline.
Yes.
I don't know that I necessarily want to age more. I want to know what it's at now to see what could happen.
Yeah. And I mean, again, on my scale for a 7 is something I would rebuy.
Yes.
But that means that there are things I like significantly.
I was gonna say there's 5s I rebuy. It all just depends.
And that's all. Like, this is also a scale where I don't have too many 10s.
Right.
Like, my 10s are particular Booker's batches,
Knob 12 cask.
Knob 12 cask, Knob 25th anniversary.
Would you put GTS up there?
GTS is up there.
And what
are up there.
And do you think you put Little Book 3 up there?
Yes. And I think
know
those would
4 was a little more controversial, but I think I would put 3.
4. I would probably put it like maybe an 8, maybe even a 7.
I would have.
It's been a month since I've tried it. I have to go back and try it again.
We also got at one point we got to arrange something where we go to your place so we can try these. Because Ryan's never tried any of these high ones. But anyway, so that's Old Elk. I'm not disappointed.
Yeah.
Not at all. And I mean, I made the drive to West Virginia and lost my spoiler for this, so.
I appreciate that.
Which is fixed. But, yeah, not bad. And the only thing that's weird, and this is, I guess, a little add-on for the video, West Virginia is really fucking weird with liquor laws. Because they're state-run, but have mom-and-pop shops, where the state buys all the stuff, and then the mom-and-pop stores buy from the state.
Isn't that what Ohio does, though?
No. Ohio has spirits allocated, and the other stuff they do their own thing.
Okay.
The Ohio, like, spirits are allocated. Like, spirits are like it is here, where individual stores don't set prices.
Interesting.
I don't know if individual stores set prices anywhere there, but they can pick their own variety.
That's what I meant. Yes. Like, I feel like there's private stores that pick what they sell.
Oh, for sure.
But they don't get to choose the pricing. They just,
right.
Yeah.
They know what they're geared towards, and they gear.
Yes.
West Virginia, the stores get taxed when they buy them, and so big stores can eat these taxes, and they charge cheaper because of it.
Right.
Big grocery stores and whatnot. But then they charge their own sales tax at a lot of these mom and pop stores. So the tax on this bottle was 11%.
Interesting.
Which, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you're buying something, you don't bat an eye at, oh no, an extra $8 on this bottle.
Yeah.
Oh no. Especially like, $8 really isn't much when you didn't know if this was going to be 60 or 100 when it was there. So, now at 69 or $70, whatever it was at. Yes, you'd rebuy it.
I think with the amount that I drink it, yes, I think I would. Because I would not grab this one super frequently.
Fair enough. So it would last a while, so you could justify it.
Yes.
If you were looking for a daily sipper, you would not go toward this.
No, not at all.
And that's the thing, is like, some things are like unique enough that you want to daily sip it because you just love it, and other things are unique enough that you don't want to.
Yeah.
For either, one, you'll get tired of it, two, you'll I completely lost my train of thought. You'll get tired of it. You will just not want it at all anymore.
Yeah.
Or it's too expensive and you can't justify the price to drink it that way.
For me personally, whenever it comes to buying a bottle like $70 like this, there's two things it has to do, or two possibilities. One is obviously I don't drink it enough that I can justify having it again because I do enjoy it and it's different and I want it on my shelf.
Like Booker's.
Yes.
You're not going to demolish any bottle of Booker's. You can always justify it because you're like, well, I could buy this once and it'll last me 3 years.
Well, actually, Booker's is the other one I was about to say is I love it so much that it's not a daily sipper, but I need to have it on my shelf for frequent drinking that I'll be like, fuck it, I'll bite the bullet anyways.
Right.
Booker's is that for me.
Right.
Like, I love Booker's so much that I will always have it on my shelf, and I will bite the bullet for $100. I would not daily sip it, but that's because it's barrel proof.
And $100.
Yes.
I don't want $100 daily. That's not sustainable.
But will it always be on my shelf? Absolutely, because I love Booker's.
Yeah, and I love I fall under, if it's the right flavor profile for me. Like that Granny's batch, if that's what Booker's always tasted like, I would always have it on my shelf.
Yeah, no, this one that I have for you tonight does taste nothing like Granny's batch, and I love it.
Which is why I'm excited to try it.
Yes.
But I also, it makes me wonder how much I'm actually going to like it compared to other Booker's batches.
You like Donahoe's? I like that better than Donahoe's.
Okay, I guess we'll see. Anyway, Old Elk Wheated.